Hello and welcome to the Paytech Show, the program where we explore the latest trends and innovations in the world of payments and technology. On today's show, we have two experts with us to discuss the benefits of the new payment standard, ISO 20022. We flew over to Amsterdam to speak with Rein, the Group Chief Compliance Officer at ING, and they were kind enough to host us at their incredible headquarters. Joining us from our London studio, we have Simon Wilson, the MD of Transaction Automation at Valantic FSA. In this episode, we'll be discussing how the enhanced and structured data brought about from ISO 20022 is helping banks with their regulatory compliance and also cracking down on money laundering. So let's dive in and hear what our experts have to say. One thing that has changed due to scale has obviously been the payments industry, and that filters so strongly into anti-money laundering. What are changes in payments compliance through international standards like ISO 20022 going to mean for combating AML going forward?
If you look at the payments and the complexity, and being able to monitor these payments, including like instant payments, which makes it much more difficult to do exactly that. The most important thing for combating AML and fighting financial crime is being able to create a picture. It's like a puzzle. Yeah. If you have all these small pieces, and us looking at individual pieces does not give us the picture. But if we're going to combine that information, then we're going to get at a collective picture. That's exactly why, for example, we have transaction monitoring in the Netherlands, which is an initiative in the Netherlands to combine these small pieces of pictures to get one picture on what we're looking at and then be able to respond to it. And that's for payments, I think the biggest challenge is to be able to combine that information and to have that bigger picture, to have not the one criminal moving from the one bank into the other because we don't know from each other that we've just told them to not bank with us.
Look, I think let's not stretch things too far. It's always a race to stay ahead between the bad guys and the good guys, as it were. But I do think it will genuinely help. The world, from a payments perspective, will at least be on the same message set. I won't go as far as saying the same standard because they'll still have plenty of variations even within ISO 20022. But it clearly helps when you've got the same message set and recognition of what data is there. I think with the upgrade of technology, you can leverage that data and actually react to it much more quickly, which means spotting things earlier. There's a consistency in the data to help with the checks around sanctions and AML. And unfortunately, the world environment has forced banks to focus more and more on that, not just because of the regulatory attention, but when if you look at the last year and the war, for example, the need to suddenly be able to turn different aspects and channels on and off means that the accuracy of that data and the standardization of that data does make what is a pretty heavy burden for a bank. That's no easy task, and clearly it's important, but it makes doing that kind of easier in that sense. So a general recognition and commonality helps improve efficiency and improve the quality of what people are doing. But let's be realistic. I don't think there's any room in that kind of area to be complacent. We're going to have to keep continuing to help things modernise and keep ahead of the bad guys.
Looking at the criminals of the future being so global, and maybe these international standards are going to hopefully piece that all together in the future.
So harmonization, in terms of harmonization across Europe, for example, and having more regulation and directive in terms of being more at arm's length and having the same requirements, and our systems being able to connect with other information, let's say environments, that obviously is going to enrich the information that makes that data becomes information to respond to.